What's up? Okay. 1 second. Y'all, I got a mic. Finally. I've been doing... What episode is this of me talking about books? 4? 3? I don't know. But I finally got a mic. And I have to be careful because I can't really, like, touch it. Or, like, you'll hear me literally, like, digest my food if I move it. And I also can't speak it too loud. I don't know. Hopefully the audio sounds good. But yeah. So today we're going to be doing another talking about books video, and today's topic, I want to talk about this TikTok that I saw literally last night, and it was about this man, and he was basically asking why booktok is filled with books dealing with porn, or books that are filled with porn. And I just wanted to tackle that topic because there's a lot of comments and responses to it, and then he made a response to that video because people were like 50-50 agreeing with him, disagreeing with him. I just wanted to talk about it and give my input. So let's get started. Before we get started, you guys know we have to do Book of the Week. Book of the Week is going to be Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. It's over there. I don't have it with me right now, but that is a 5-star read. I love it. I love it. Hey, I actually love that book so much. And if I ever read another book, if I ever finish my reading vlog that I'm trying to put out, you'll see my reactions in that vlog. I don't know when that's coming out though, because I have absolutely no time to read. Is that blue light annoying? I don't know how to, like... Anyway. Also, literally, I have a mic. Like, Like, I literally was using a fan, face wash, and I think shaving cream. Now I have a mic. What? But now I feel like people are gonna be like, you know how they're like, not everyone needs a pod, but this isn't a podcast. This is literally just me talking. Like, this is literally a video. Like, stop playing with me. Okay, next we have, what am I currently reading? Literally nothing. Like I literally just said, I said literally too many times. Like I said, I don't have time to read. I wish I did, but it's giving. I'm not gonna read another book until after May 14th. So yeah. But I was reading, or trying to read at least, Defend the Dawn. It is the sequel to Defy the Night by Bridget Kemmerer. That is the sequel, and I've been trying to read it, but listen, the school is taking priority. It's read the book or pay for the class again. So yes. I also had another video of a guy kind of criticizing the romance genre. If I have time to talk about it, we'll talk about that after I talk about this TikTok, because the TikTok is basically like the main issue right now. So I'm on TikTok and I see Drew Afawalo, and she is making a TikTok responding to this guy named Gabe Escobar, right? Walk with me. So in Drew's video, okay, maybe I should explain what his video is about. Gabe's video is basically, he says that he just finished reading Pride and Prejudice, and he went on TikTok and looked up books to read, and he immediately was faced with books that had so much smut in it. Yeah, he was upset with that, and he basically said that if all you read are books, you can't read a book without there being smut, there's something wrong with you. And he mentions that he listened to a page of Icebreaker and he didn't like it because there was sex in it. Because there was smut in it. And I understand that that's not everyone's taste. I get it. I understand. But I don't know. It's the same can be, first of all, the same could be said for like someone who likes horror books all the time. Like, you like being scared all the time? You like reading sex all the time? You know, like, who cares, really? Honestly, like, who cares? And he basically said that in his response video. At the end, he just said, who cares? Because in the response video, he was talking about how people were mad at him because they felt like he was criticizing women, because the books that he was criticizing are loved and read by women. Yeah, and basically in the second video, he just said, don't listen to him. So okay, but then there was a response video that was made by, I think her name's Emma Skies, and she went on to say that his video was the product of misogyny and laziness. Now, the misogyny part, I don't know, because people were going back and forth in the comments being like, women take criticism and turn that into misogyny. And it's, listen, I know that's like a harsh word to call this, but like, I always see criticism of the romance genre all the time. And like, can you dwindle that to, hey, a lot of women like this? Hey, who are the main readers of romance books? Women. And y'all love to hate on it. Hey. I I don't know. What I do like 100% agree on with Emma Skies is the fact that it's laziness. It truly is, because I think, first of all, his problem is he was generalizing his issue. He made a blanket statement talking about all book talk is smut, which, babe, that isn't true. And this is the thing, like, I'm not mad at this guy. When I first watched it last night, I was mad. I was like, girl, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He literally said that he showed a picture of like Barnes and Noble and a bunch of books that were on the book talk table at Barnes and Noble. And he said, I haven't read a single one of these books, but they're smut. And he just, like, making a statement like that, you're gonna get people mad. I'm sorry, like, that's just what it is. And I'm not mad at him, because I'm sure when you look up books to read on TikTok, you will most likely probably get some smut. Now, is that, like, that's just what it is, because you know why? Because book talk is a female dominated space. It is a woman dominated space. And what do women like to read on TikTok? This is going to be a blanket statement as well, but you know what I mean? Like, this, like, the majority of TikTok book talk is romance book and romance recommendations. Now, what I do want him to do, what I do think is his fault, maybe, right, is tailoring your taste, right? And simply just rephrasing what you are looking up. So he looked up books to read. But what you should look up is, like, if he was just finishing Pride and Prejudice. So, like, if you want something like that, you can look up like classical books to read, classical literature to read, fictional books to read, classic book recs. And also, book talk, I want to say this, book talk is not the only piece of media that you can get recommendations from. Hey, book talk is semi-new. What has been around forever? Goodreads. Thank you. There's Goodreads. You can look up books. There's literally, if you scroll down, it's going to have the genre of said book, and you can click on that, and it will bring you a bunch of books that fit in that genre. There's also lists on TikTok. There are articles that people write, and they have a bunch of books, babe. A bunch of books that you can pick from. There's also Storygraph. Storygraph is great. Now, this is going to really hit the point. This is really going to take everyone's frustrations and really, like, burn out the flame. Storygraph does a great thing where it tells you the trigger warnings and just stuff that not stuff that happens, but, you know, like, stuff that you should probably, you might want to know, right? Storygraph does that for you. And if you want to see if anything's triggering in it, or any sexual content, you can go to Storygraph and it will tell you. Now, we need more people to be on Storygraph so we can get that information. So I want people to use Goodreads and Storygraph in tandem, because, like, let's get some more info. Let's get some more people on Storygraph, please. Thank you. I will say it's kind of hard to have a community on there, so that might be the issue, but whatever. Next thing, Google. Hey, Google's been around for how many years? You can search up books to read on Google and what you want to read. And of course there's YouTube. BookTube is amazing. I love it. And it's an easier way for people to get a little more in depth with their book recommendations and talk about what's in the book. What's in it that you possibly might not like? What's in it that you might like? You know what I mean? And there's also blogs. Blogs have been around forever too, and they discuss the books. They literally will have long ass pages that you have to scroll down, and they will tell you They will spoilers, non-spoilers. What is happening in the book? Like, come on, like there are solutions to your problem. Book talk should not always be your first way of finding books. It really shouldn't. And there was people in the comments who were saying that like it is partly your job to find out what you're reading, find out what media you are consuming. And I'm gonna have to agree with that point. Like, at the end of the day, it is your job to, hey, what am I reading? Hey, what is this book about? Like, do a little research. Like, do a little work. So then you won't get mad and blame it on X, Y, and Z for why you didn't have a good time. And this also brings me to some of the comments that I saw on the video, which were really nasty and honestly made me even more upset than the actual video. So someone said, let's bring back cheesy, cute little romance books. Now see, what's your name? Maria, what's crazy is that there's no bringing back that needs to be done. The cheesy, cute little romance books are still here. What I'm going to tell you is there is a term called closed door romance, and that basically means that there's no sex. It's fade to black or just no sex at all. So what you can do is you can look up closed door romance on Google, and it will give you a bunch of books that don't contain that content. Or you can look that up on TikTok, YouTube, Goodreads maybe. I don't know if Goodreads is going to have that, but definitely Google, definitely YouTube, and definitely booktok will give you your cute little cheesy romance books. Thank you. This person said, I quit being on booktok for this reason, because why is the majority reading glorified rape, abuse, stalking, etc.? And then I love this person's response. You can literally see my like. They said, did you just read Haunting Adeline and said, I'm done? No, because like that's what it's giving. Because majority is reading rape, abuse, and stalking. Who's reading that? Who's reading that? And that like gets into dark romance, which is a whole nother thing. I can touch on that a little bit. But she responded to the person saying, I did read it, but there are a lot of booktok books with concerning / dark topics, which is fine because some need to be addressed, but they get glorified in a, to me, kind of weird way. Okay, so this is what I know. If a book is labeled dark romance, hear me out. There are trigger warnings. What? Oh my god. There's content warnings. Oh my fucking god. What the fuck? Yes. So, basically, majority of them in the front of the book are there's trigger warnings, and if you go to the author's website, there are also the trigger warnings and content warnings and shit. Hey, you might be triggered by this. Hey, you might not like this. That's in almost every dark romance book I have read. And also, where did you get the recommendation from? Because if the person didn't alert to you, hey, like this book is X, Y, and Z, there's gunplay, then like, what the fuck? Then like, that's on the reviewer. And I'm going to get to a consensus. I'm going to get to a summary at the end of this video for like what we need to do moving forward. Because honestly, like, there's things on both ends where we can be doing right to make sure everyone is satisfied, and I will get there. But if the reviewer did not tell you that that's what that book was, like, hey, this is a book about dark themes, stuff is going to go on this book and you might not like it, then that's the reviewer's fault. But every Haunting Adeline review I have seen, they have said that this is a dark romance book, and this, that, and the third happen in it. Like, it's so rare. It's like borderline impossible to go into Haunting Adeline and not know what's about to go down. That's what made it popular. The fact that this man was sticking a gun up her, you know what? That's what made it popular. So, like, are you serious? And also, dwindling your whole booktok experience to Haunting Adeline is actually crazy, because not every booktok book is like Haunting Adeline, okay? Or a dark romance book. I will say, like I said before, that book talk is dominated by a woman presence. And woman can like books with porn in it, like books with smut in it. And if that's what's popular, that's what's popular. Because women, I keep saying that, but women have the power to literally make so much shit popular. Boy bands, books, music, X, Y, and Z. They have the actual powerhouse. They will rally the troops and make shit be global, international. They will take things to the next level. And that's just the power they have. So I'm not surprised that, like, there's, like, that's what's popular. Because that's what women find popular. The space is dominated by women. That's what you're going to see. I had to stop because there was another man who made a TikTok. And he was basically saying how if a reviewer says this book is dark romance, take that as a red flag. I agree. Like, take that as a red flag that this might not be for you. But the hate that dark romance gets is actually crazy because there's a thing called you don't have to read it. There's a thing called someone reading Haunting Adeline is not going to ruin your day. It's not going to ruin your life. And that's what a lot of these people that I'm seeing criticize the romance genre, they're acting like these books are ruining literature. Like, girl, there are people who are still writing your literary fiction. There are still people writing your thrillers, writing your historical fictions. Like, they're acting like just because romance books are popular and that's what people are gravitating to, women, they act like it's literally a fucking bomb that's being dropped and literature doesn't exist. I also saw a woman say that, like, romance books aren't literature, which that's a whole nother topic. I'm actually going to comment on this really quick. The fuck was my mic echoing? The fucking echoing setting was on when I make my point, but the point still stands, and I feel like this adds a dramatic flair to it, so we're gonna continue. We're gonna pretend like I'm giving a speech. Because I feel like this ties in with the whole video. Saying that romance books aren't literature, I'm not gonna fight and freaking, like, debate what is literature, what is not literature. Like, I'm not gonna do that. But why is it that everything has to have a meaning? Why can't we just simply be entertained? Why can't we just enjoy a simple thing? I really don't understand. Like, having this debate, are romance books literature? People will meet on vacation in Dorian Gray the same? Can they exist in the same space? Babe, yes, they can. But does people meet on vacation constitute literature? No, I guess not. Like, it's for enjoyment. Yes, you can analyze it. You can see, this is what we're getting into. We're getting the debate between what is literature, what is not. I simply think that always having this critical eye on romance books and trying to fault them in some way, it's getting old. It's really getting old. Find a new hobby. Find a new hobby that isn't criticizing what women like. And I'm gonna kind of lean towards that this hate that's happening is giving misogynistic, but, like, that's, again, like I said in the video, it's a harsh word to put on this, but it's what it's feeling like. I have nothing left to say, because it's just, leave us alone. Please leave us alone. We are not bothering anybody. The romance genre is not bothering people. You are bothering it, and it's people that like it. Thank you. But it's like every criticism that I'm seeing is a man acting like a fucking hurricane hit the book community, and reading just isn't, like, reading isn't valid anymore. Isn't sound, isn't justifiable. Like, calm down. You can still read your books, sir. Like, why does a woman reading porn, like, why does that bother you so much? And if it does, because it's in your face for some reason, I don't know why it would be in your face if you're not searching for it, but if it does happen to be in your face, not interested. Hey, classic books. There's thriller books. Like, there's ways to get around it. There's ways to get around it. That's literally it. There's no ands, ifs, or buts. And yeah, I don't see it. I don't see an issue. What I will agree with him on, he made a point in his response video saying that if someone said I can't read a book without smut, it's the same thing as if someone said I can't watch a movie without a sex scene. And I don't know what to say to that. Like, yeah, that's weird if you can't watch a movie without a sex scene in it. Okay, that's weird. Yeah. Books, that's a totally different medium. Like, I would be your weird because those are real actual humans. These are fake fictional stories. And how is that different than y'all reading like those horror books? And I think it's like a subgenre of people who like it'll be like a guy who, I forget what book it is, but a man likes to eat people and the woman likes to eat babies or something. Or like say someone likes to have intercourse with dead people and someone likes to eat people. It's like, I'm not seeing anything on that, but hey, a 6'4" fairy is pounding the back of a 5'5" girl, and the world is fucking ending. Girl, what has literature come to? What has literature, bro? They're having sex in the fucking fairy. What? Who gives a fuck? That's why I'm kind of seeing this as misogyny. I can kind of see where that girl is coming from, cause it's giving like, who, like, at the end of the day, who gives a fuck? Now, we're coming to the time where I usually end these videos. So I'm going to give you guys a, like, what I think can happen, what I think can resolve our issues. Right. So, I think romance books, hey, I think we can put warnings, because not everyone does it. I think putting warnings and, hey, I keep saying hey. Guys, I'm sorry. Okay, anyway. I almost just said it again. Spice level, some people do it, but I don't see on every video. Spice level, if there is spice. Book content, trigger warnings. That should be in the page. That should be like in the front of the book before you can start it. So when you flip it, if you want to buy it, you flip it open, you see these warnings, you can make the distinction, hey, this isn't for me, you can put it down. Or what I do is I look it up on Google or Goodreads. I look it up, and usually a reviewer will put if there's spice or not, any trigger warnings, and you could filter through the Goodreads comments and you can see that. Okay, you can. Like, there's ways for you to avoid this if you don't like it. I know Haley Pham, she doesn't like smut in romance books, and she has found books. I don't know if she reads romance books anymore. I haven't watched in a bit, but she found ways to read romance books without that content in it. So it is possible, guys. It is. It is. So I think that's what people on the romance book end can do. People on the end that think that, BookTok is filled with just porn, and if you like books with porn in it, you're weird and that's an issue. People on that side, people that think like it's a red flag to like dark romance or something, that side, I kind of don't have any comments for you. It's my thing is just like, leave them alone, leave me alone. Like, leave us alone, and I understand it can be annoying seeing, is it spicy in the comments, but at the end of the day, that's that person. That person wants to read spicy books. That person wants to read spicy books. If you think people who read dark romance is a red flag, that's what you think. I don't know. I generally, like, I'm speechless because I'm just like, I don't know how to respond to you, because like, you don't think that this is okay, but this is fictional. But Sally reading ACOTAR isn't going to mess up your experience reading Pride and Prejudice, babe. So I just want to know, especially the men out there, just like, who cares? Who cares? Who cares if what we're reading? Genuinely. And get out to space too. Like, find your own space. Don't come into the romance space, because just like, and there's issues with the romance community too, and like the book talk community, there's issues with everything. Okay, I'm not saying that like I 100% stand by everything that is written in the community, everything that's said. I'm not saying that, but what I am saying is like stop criticizing it, stop bringing hate, unless you start hating other genres too. Because I'm not seeing anyone hating historical fiction. I'm not seeing anyone hate that subreddit. I'm chronically online. The subgenre of horror. I'm not seeing anyone criticizing that. So until you do that, I don't want to hear a thing. I don't want to hear a word, a peep. But yes. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and hearing me talk. And yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know if you agree with me, if you agree with the I almost said the man. If you agree with Gabe, the TikTok that kind of started everything, that fueled everything, what do you think? And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one, and let me know if the audio was amazing.